All right, so now you're pros at solving equations when you have variables on both sides. Let's look at one more possibility that could happen. It doesn't happen a whole lot. So when we're doing algebra equations, there are actually 3 different possible outcomes that we could get. So far, we've only done this one, where we end up with one solution. So we've ended up with x equals 2, or x equals 99, or whatever. But I only have one possible option that is my variable. X is only equaling one thing. Well, sometimes x has no solutions. There is no number that I could put into my equation that would make it work. So sometimes I get that. I'll show you an example in a second. Sometimes any number would work. So in that case, infinitely many solutions. So not only does x equal 2, but it also equals 1, and it also equals any decimal, and it also equals any fraction, and any negative number. Any number I could think of will work as a solution. So let's look at 3 problems. All right, first, I don't see any distributing that I need to do. The left and my right side can't be simplified any. So I notice that I have variables on opposite sides of my equal sign. So I need to move them, and so they are on the same side. I'm going to move the smaller one. So minus 2x on both sides of my equal sign. That goes away, and I'm left with a minus 6, or a negative 6 on the right side. Now I'm left with 2 x's plus 10. So I need to get my x variable alone. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. I have 2x left over on the left side. Negative 6 minus 10 gets me negative 16. X is being multiplied by 2, so divide by 2 on both sides. And I'm left with x equals negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. So I ended up with one solution. So in this equation, the only thing that I could put into the x slots to make the left and the right side equal is an x value of negative 8. That's my one and only solution. Let's look at this one. I don't see any distributing that I need to do, but I do have a left side that needs to be simplified. So negative 2 and 7 are both regular numbers, and I can put them together. Negative 2 plus 7 is 5 minus 4r. The rest of the equation stays the same. So I see I have variables on both sides of my equal sign, so I need to get them together. So I'm going to add 4r, and if I do that to one side, I need to do the exact same thing to the other side and see what's left over. Well, my negative 4r and my plus 4r go away, so I'm left with 5, an equal sign. And what happens over here? Well, my negative 4r and my plus 4r also go away, and I'm left with 5. So interesting. When that happens, meaning all of my variables went away and I'm left with just a number equals a number, and it's a true statement, because 5 equals 5, yes, that's true. Since 5 equals 5, that's a true statement, we call that solution being infinitely many solutions. You could shorten that answer up by doing the infinity sign. So infinitely many solutions means that I could put any number I want to in the r spot and do all the math on the left side and do all the math on the right side, and they're going to come out equal. I could put a fraction in there, a negative number, a decimal, anything that I can think of. Any number, there's infinitely many of them that I could put in here. So that is when all of my variables dropped off and I was left with a number equals a number. And it was a true statement, because 5 equals 5, absolutely. I have infinitely many solutions. Let's look at this one. I don't see any distributing that I need to do, but my left side does need to be simplified because I have some y values. So 5y minus 2y gets me 3y minus 1 equals 3y minus 2. So now my y values are on different sides, so I need to get them on the same side. So I'm going to get rid of 3y's over here. Do the same thing over there. And what's left over? Well, my 3y minus 3y went away, and I'm left with negative 1. 3y minus 3y went away, and I'm left with negative 2. Just like our last equation, where the variables completely went away and we were left with a number equals a number. But the only difference here is that negative 1 equals negative 2. That's not true. Negative 1 equals negative 1, or negative 2 equals negative 2, but these are two different numbers. They're not equal to each other. So I ended up with a false statement. Look back here. 5 equals 5? Yes, that's true. They're the same number. But negative 1 does not equal negative 2. That's a false statement. So our answer is no solution. That means that any number I put into the y values will not give me the left side equaling the right side. I can try all day long, but there is no solution for y. There's nothing I can put in for y. All right, stop. Complete practice number 10, where you're going to deal with solving equations where some of the answers are going to have no solution and some of them are going to have infinitely many solutions before you can continue. Then you'll be ready to take an assessment showing you know how to solve equations when you have to do some simplifying, when you have to use the distributive property, and when sometimes you have infinitely many solutions or no solutions. Thank you.